Before we get started with tonight's episode, I've got to thank last week's generous super chatter. You guys know him. He's coming up right now. He's Rob Christensen. Rob has been a consistently generous donator to the show. He's given us a lot of support. I cannot thank you enough, Rob. Guys, if you have not checked out his channel yet, after all these times I've talked about it, you've got to check it out. His link is in the description below. You're going to get some really great movie reviews and really deep, in-depth, and fun movie discussions on Jim and Rob overanalyze movies. The show is great. Rob does great work. Jim and Rob both do great work over there. And if you're a movie fan, I think you're going to find a lot of enjoyment. Go check him out. And thank you again, Rob, so much for all of your generous donations to the channel. It means the world to me, and it helps us out tremendously. Tonight, on the show starring the man who has not seen Barbie or Oppenheimer yet, aka Zach Milne Talks Live, we are talking about Thomas Haden Church's comments on Spider-Man 4. Could Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire actually happen? We're going to break that down. Paramount CEO has just come out and said that they are no longer going to be putting original animated movies into theaters. We're going to talk about that boneheaded decision as well. And Secret Invasion, all 6 episodes of the show are now out on Disney+. I'm going to give my series review. We're going to talk about the good and the bad. All that and more provided by you guys. This is Zach Milne Talks Live. Let's do this. What's up, guys? Welcome back, or welcome for the first time to Zach Milne Talks Live. Either one of them, I am very thankful to have you guys here. It is an honor and a privilege to talk movies with you guys tonight. The writer's strike, the actor's strike, still going on as it should be until those people get paid, get what they deserve. But we still got some stuff to talk about, as you saw at the top of the show. So if you are new here, let me explain to you how this goes. We go through each topic, but in between each topic, we're going to take your live comments and questions about the topic itself or whatever you'd like to talk about. If you want to throw in a super chat at the same time, you can always do that as well. And if you have a channel of your own, I like to thank you guys with more than words for your generous donations. You don't have to send in, but some of you choose to send in, and I'm very appreciative of that. So we do have a super chat guide. If you send in $1.99, you get a community post made with the link to your channel on it and a shout out to your channel. For $2.99, you get a community post as well as the link of your channel in the description of this video. And for $4.99 or more, you get the community post, a link in the description of this video, as well as next episode's video and a special video shout out that you saw at the beginning of the show. But as always, guys, super chats are not required to get your comment or question answered. I'm excited for tonight, guys. I'm excited for our topics. I'm excited to talk with you all. So let's just see who's in here. Let's welcome you all. And we already have to start here with Rob Christensen. Once again, dude, sending in a super chat, $10 super chat, saying I'm blushing. Dude, you got me blushing. You got me feeling all the feels. You are so generous, dude. I cannot thank you enough for all the support that you've just given to the channel. It blows my mind every week, dude, and I just can't stop saying thank you. So once again, dude, thank you so much for that. That was so generous and nice of you, man. We got 80s kid from the 90s in here. What's going on, dude? You're not feeling too well tonight. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you get well soon. All my prayers and thoughts are with you. But thank you for joining us tonight, man. Thank you for, get your rest. Don't abandon your rest I almost said rest. My W's and my R's are a little tricky. I had problems when I was a kid with that. But yeah, don't abandon your rest to be here, man. But we're so happy to have you here. Great to see you. Hi, Zach. Are you looking forward to X-Men 97? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was never like a huge fan of the X-Men animated okay, I shouldn't say I was never a huge fan of it. I didn't watch it very often. I watched a couple episodes here or there, but it didn't really grab me or hook me as a kid, to be honest. So I haven't seen much of that show. So the fact that they're doing a continuation of it on Disney Plus, I think is super cool, especially for the fans of it. I'm just kind of like, I'll watch it. I'll check it out. I'll see what they do. I'll see if it involves the MCU at all. But I'm not overly excited for it at the moment. But I know a lot of people are, and I'm very happy for them. 80 Skip from the 90s goes on to say, I can watch the stream until 10:45. All right, dude. For as long as we have you, we'll be happy, man. Thank you so much for being here. Lance Jackson. Zach, I've seen the Fat Albert movies. Well, welcome, Lance. Thank you for being here tonight, man. Zach, I've seen the Fat Albert movies 100 times. I learned the dance moves in the movie. But Danielle, you can't let fear keep you from caring about someone. Caring about someone is wonderful. That's a really cute line in that movie. I haven't seen that movie in forever, but I remember that line. That's awesome, dude. I'm proud of you, man. That's awesome. I want to see those dance moves. Upload a video. Let's see them. The View with Drew. What's going on, Drew? Thanks for being here tonight, man. Hey everyone. Well, what's up, Drew? What's up with you, man? How you doing? Luke Ponto. What's going on, Luke? Thanks for joining us, man. You just got off a stream. You were doing a live watch along for the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm sure you hated it. Yeah, I'm sure you were very disappointed in the movie. I'm sure it let you down, and I'm very sorry for that experience, man. I hope the sequel does better for you. No, I know you loved it, man. My man Zach, what's going on, bro? Hope all is well. All is okay. All is okay, man. I'll say that. I had a really nice weekend with my family. Went out on the weekend. That's why I haven't seen Barbie or Oppenheimer. And then I tried to get tickets last night. I was going to go see a Barbie showing because I figured it's Tuesday night. Who's going to? It was completely sold out. That movie is killing it. That movie is doing better than anyone could have imagined. Definitely better than I thought it was going to do. Everybody's seen that movie. My sister and her boyfriend, they don't go to the movies very often. They went and saw that movie. And Oppenheimer, too, is doing it. My grandparents, who don't go to the movies, like, ever, they went and saw Oppenheimer. Like, those movies, they're a cultural moment, man. And it's kind of weird not having seen them. But one day I will. And then, yeah, I got some bad news the other day that my car is done. To quote the mechanic that looked at it, it's done. It's toast. So that sucks. That's been a little bit of a bump in my life. But I'm here. We're talking movies. We're live. We're having fun. All is good with you guys. So I appreciate all of you guys being here. Luke Ponto, watched anything good recently? I watched a couple things over the weekend. What did I watched Flaming Hot. On Disney Plus, which honestly I really liked. Like, I don't know if it like flew under the radar for people as well. I heard some people talking about it when it came out, but not nearly as much as I think people should be. I thought it was really charming. I thought it was sweet and cute, and I really liked the lead guy and the story behind it all, which some people have told me is fabricated and is a lie. That's not actually how the Flamin' Hot Cheeto came to be. But for a movie, as the movie was, I really enjoyed the movie. I think I might even like Flamin' Hot more than Air, which I think might be a hot take for some people, but I don't know. I just found it really endearing. And then I also watched They Clone Tyrone, which Sully Streams, who jumps in here and has been on the channel before, highly praised, says it's his favorite movie of the year. I've seen a lot of people actually echo that. I've seen a lot of people who love They Clone Tyrone. And I thought it was good. I liked it. I liked a lot of it, actually. The lead characters, Jamie Foxx and John Boyega and, I'm forgetting the girl's name, Paris something, Tanera Paris, I want to say. I probably got that wrong. They were awesome. They were amazing in the movie. I feel like the movie, though, was kind of, I don't want to say cliched, but I don't know. I feel like it was let down by me because it kind of felt like a mixture of a bunch of movies I've seen before. It kind of felt like Michael Bay's The Island with some Get Out in there, with a little bit of Stranger Things and some stuff like that. So it just felt like this combination of things I'd seen before. But I thought it was executed very well, and I really enjoyed it. So I think those are the only two things I've watched. And I'm going through Breaking Bad. I'm almost done season 2. So that's awesome. Lance Jackson says, lights, camera, action. Hit the like button. Welcome to Zach's amazing channel. Well, thank you so much, Lance. I really appreciate that, man. 3D Movie Cinema. What's going on, 3D Movie Cinema? 3D Movie Cinema is in the house. Well, thank you for being in the house, man. Thanks for joining us. Awesome channel. Awesome channel movie. Keep it up. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on Exorcist Believer trailer and Saw 10 poster. The Saw 10 poster freaked me out. The poster alone freaked me out. Is that the one with the tubes in the eyes? Yeah. No. Movie Zach's not going to watch for 200, please, Alex. Yeah, I can't do that. Luke Ponto, I'm almost finished with season 2 of The Flash, and it is awesome. Hold on to that feeling, dude. Hold on to that feeling. For me, season 2 is where it peaks. Also, guys, check this out. My wife got me this mug with the channel on it for crossing 2,000 subscribers. So thank you, honey. Thank you for that very much. It's awesome. 80s Kid from the 90s. Is it true Disney is pulling the plug on Lilo and Stitch reboot? I did not see that anywhere. I did not read that. Did that just come out? Because I honestly have... Oh, I can tap the heart. That's cool. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. Sorry, I got distracted. I have not seen that anywhere. I did not know that that was a thing. Did that just come out? Because I would be interested to talk about that, to be honest, if that's true. Oh, we did a jump there. Oh, my goodness. I didn't even see that come through. Box Hunter sending in a $2 super chat. Dude, thank you so much for that. Thanks for watching my video. Well, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for joining us. It's a real honor. And thank you so much for that generous donation and support to the channel, man. I really appreciate that. We got Optimistic Forever. What's going on, Frank? Thanks for being here tonight, man. What's up? What's up? What's up, Zach? What's up? What's up? What's up, Frank? I'm glad you're here, man. 80s kid from the 90s. It's frustrating having a bad cough. Dude, I know what you mean. I absolutely know what you mean. When I get sick, I get sick. And it's awful. I have a bad cough for like 2 weeks straight. I had a bad cough on the show a couple months back. So, yeah. And, oh, the throat gets sore. And, oh, it's awful. Lance Jackson, I got a blanket and gummy worms for a snack to watch the amazing topics. Well, I hope you enjoy tonight, Lance. I hope you have fun. I'm having fun. Optimistic Forever. Hope everyone's night's going awesome. I second that. Draven Mayberry. Yo, well, what's up, Draven Mayberry? Thank you for joining us tonight, man. Thanks for being here. The View with Drew. I'm excited for Spider-Man 4. Love the first two Raimi Spider-Man movies, and Spider-Man 3 isn't great, but it's not horrible. Dude, I love the first two Raimi films. They're some of my favorite movies of all time. And we're going to talk about Spider-Man 4. We'll talk about those comments. And I don't know. I might be a bubble burster tonight. We'll find out. Never Hold Back Reviews. What's going on? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Hey, first time watcher of the live stream. I'm looking forward to it. Well, I hope I don't disappoint. I hope you have fun. I hope you have a great time, dude. And we're very happy and honored and welcome. Thank you for being here, dude. Optimistic Forever. The X-Men animated series is worth the binge. Oh, okay. I'll have to, maybe I'll check that out. I've heard good things. I'll say that. I've heard really good things about the X-Men animated series, so I gotta check that out. Optimistic Forever. My condolences to your car, man. Well, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, I honestly, it shouldn't affect my reviewing that much. Because I do usually go with my brother and my cousin, and some family members sometimes come with me. So they have cars, so maybe they'll just be able to pick me up and take me up to the theater with them instead of just meeting, or I usually pick them up, so maybe now it'll be vice versa. So I should still be able to go to the movies quite often and get reviews out for you guys, but I can't promise that it won't change, because if they get busy, if they work night shifts when I want to go see a movie, I may have to reschedule a little bit more. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. The View with Drew. Good news. I was at a movie museum and I took some pictures of statues and I published it on my channel. That's awesome. I'm going to have to check that out. 80s Kid from the 90s. I'm excited for Mutant Mayhem. You know what? Me too. I'm getting pretty excited for that. That's coming up next weekend, isn't it? Not this weekend, but next weekend, I believe. Isn't that with the Meg, or is it later? I can't remember when that comes out. Draven Mayberry, what's going on? What's going on, man? Thanks for being here tonight. I think I already said that, but I'm happy to have you here. Draven goes on to say, Haunted Mansion tomorrow. I can't wait. I've totally forgotten about that movie. I hope it's good. I'll probably try to see. Well, you see, I want to see Barbie or something before I see Haunted Mansion, so I might go see. Maybe I'll see if I can double feature. Maybe I'll try to spend a day at the movies and watch Barbie and Haunted Mansion. I don't know. Maybe throw Oppenheimer in there if I can. But Haunted Mansion is kind of one that I'm like on. But I hope it's good. I hope it's fun. Luke Ponto, thanks for plugging my watch along, my guy. I had a ton of fun doing that one. Well, I'm glad you did, man. I jumped in there a little bit, watched you guys for a little bit as I was prepping for the show, and it looked like you guys were having a good time. Really full panel on there too, dude. Your channel's really growing with the amount of people that's going on it. That's awesome to see your community just keep expanding. That's great, dude. Keep doing what you're doing, dude. You're so good. Hardcore Reviews. Well, welcome, dude. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hello, Zach. Seeing Disney's Haunted Mansion tomorrow, and I'm going in with really low expectations due to those early reviews being quite weak. I haven't really looked at any early reviews for Haunted Mansion. Have they been bad? Have they been? Yeah. See, that's what I'm kind of worried about. It's just It's kind of 80s Kid from the 90s. Have you watched the new Stan Lee documentary? Oh, you know what? I did watch the new Stan Lee documentary. I think I watched that over the weekend. I thought that it was very good, but it could have been excellent. Like, it could have been great. I really loved the feeling of, like, it was through Stan Lee's voice the entire time. It felt like you were sitting down on the carpet and Uncle Stan Lee was telling you his life story. I just feel like when we got to the end, it was rushed. It was fast. Like, I understand that because they were using archive footage or archive recordings of Stan Lee's voice, that they wanted to keep that consistent. But when they were going through the years of his like 1962, and then we went to 1966 and 1972, like, we were going progressively pretty smoothly, and then it was like 1980, and then it was just like bam, 2010, and the MCU was taking over the world. And I was kind of like, oh man, I would have liked you to delve into the years where Marvel Comics went under, they went bankrupt, had to sell off their stuff, and then you build up to like, but then they came back with the movie studios, and now they rule the world. Like, I feel like they skipped over all of that, maybe because Stan Lee just never talked about it, and they had no interview archive recordings to go off of, so it wouldn't have worked consistently with the documentary. But I was really disappointed that it almost felt like the documentary was ashamed of going into Marvel's bad years, so instead they just breezed right over it and went, and now it's 2010 and everything's great. And I just wish that we had gotten to hear and get more information about what happened during the years when Marvel was really in trouble. But other than that, I really did like the documentary. I thought it was done very well. Lou Ponto, glad to hear you enjoyed Flamin' Hot. It's so good. Yeah, I really liked it. It was a sweet little gem, little hidden gem of the year. I really liked it. 80s kid from the 90s. I could handle a year without movies. I couldn't handle a year without movies, or you could handle a year without movies. If you could, props to you as a movie fan. I don't think I could handle a year without movies. Lou Ponto, Flamin' Hot over Air, though. I respect it, but I definitely prefer Air. I just kind of... For me, I liked the story of Flamin' Hot a little bit more than Air, because, I mean, I don't know how fabricated Air is. Apparently, Flamin' Hot might be a little fabricated, but with Air, I mean, first of all, I'm not really a sports guy anyway, so the invention of the Air Jordan was told well, but it wasn't like really that fascinating to me. I thought Matt Damon was really good in the movie. I liked the character. I liked that it was an underdog story, but I just liked the underdog story in Flamin' Hot a little bit more. I thought the character was more endearing. I thought it was easier to root for the character in Flamin' Hot. I liked the family dynamic within Flamin' Hot, and I don't know. It just worked a little bit better for me, and I had a little bit more fun, and a little bit more enjoyable. A little bit more of an enjoyable time with Flamin' Hot than I did with Air. I like both of them. They're both really good movies. But, yeah, I don't know. And I don't know if I liked Flamin' Hot more than Air exactly. But at the moment, I think that's where I'm leaning. All right, guys, let's kick off the show. Let's get into our first topic. Let's take a pause real quick, and then we'll get back to your comments and questions. But first of all, let's talk about this. Let's talk about Spider-Man. Let's talk about Spider-Man 4, because I was on Twitter the other day, as I usually am, and it was going nuts with this news that Spider-Man 4 is in not in production, but it was rumored to be happening. Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire are coming together to work on Spider-Man 4, says... What reliable source do we have here? Thomas Haden Church. Who's Thomas Haden Church? Well, he played the Sandman in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 and in recently No Way Home. At least he voiced Sandman in No Way Home. So he came out, apparently said that he heard that, Sam and Tobey, they're getting together. They're making Spider-Man 4, and it was making all of my Spider-Man dreams come true. Because I would give anything to have a Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire. But... then I went in and I read the full comment. And this is what Thomas Haden Church said on the comicbookmovie.com. This is his full quote of what he said. He said, "There's always been some kind of... I've heard rumors that Sam Raimi was going to do another Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. And if that happens... I would probably campaign to maybe at least do a cameo," Church says, speaking with us in support of Peacock's Twisted Metal. Now, there's a key word in this quote that instantly killed my excitement. My excitement was instantly gone when I saw the word was. Sam Raimi was going to do another Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, because... that's true. I mean, that's been out for a while. There have been rumors. There's even been storyboards of what Spider-Man 4 was going to be, what Sam Raimi was going to work on, until they decided to reboot and do The Amazing Spider-Man. And even since then, even with No Way Home starting to come out, there's been rumors that Tobey and Sam Raimi were going to do Spider-Man 4. If Thomas Haden Church here had said, oh, I've heard rumors that he is going to do it, or I've heard rumors that they're working on it, or they're trying to get something done, then I think that excitement would remain. But because in this quote he says was, it sounds past tense. It sounds like Thomas Haden Church may just be talking about what all we talk about, all the rumors that we've heard. It doesn't sound like there's anything really here to go off of to suggest that there actually is going to be a Spider-Man 4. And when you really think about it, I personally don't think that there will be a Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire. I think that when you look at what Sony's got going on, they've already got Tom Holland working on Spider-Man 4. They've got Across the Spider-Verse. They're talking about doing a live-action Miles Morales. They've got to get a Spider-Man at some point in their Venomverse. Could be Andrew Garfield. Could be Tobey Maguire. Could be someone completely new, someone different. But let's just humor this for a minute. Let's just humor this idea for 1 second. What are the possibilities? Why is it possible that there could be a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4? Let's talk about that for a little bit. Let's look at some of the possibilities that may be there for there to actually be a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4. The first one you got that I'm going with is No Way Home. Because with No Way Home, you brought Tobey back to the audience, to the big screen. You saw his Spider-Man once again. Before, it was just a pipe dream. Getting Tobey Maguire to even consider coming back to play Spider-Man was just a fan theory, was just a fan dream. But now we've actually seen it happen. He came back as Spider-Man in No Way Home. That shows that he's at least willing to come back to the character. He likes playing the character. Maybe even on No Way Home, maybe he was a little bit hesitant to go to No Way Home. I don't know any of this. I don't know Tobey Maguire. Maybe once he got there, maybe the flame lit in him again. Maybe he was excited to be Spider-Man. Maybe that made him crave for more. Maybe he did in fact get the feeling that he would like to come back to this franchise once he did No Way Home. Another reason that this could be possible is there is a lot of Tobey love. I mean, I'm sure the execs at Sony and Marvel, they have seen it. They've seen the memes. They've seen people's excitement when Tobey came onto the screen in No Way Home. In our pop cultural moment, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is kind of an iconic character. I mean, everyone knows him. Everyone loves him. He's memeified to death, even more so than I would say Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I think if they were going to get an excitement with bringing an OG Spider-Man back to the screen and doing another movie, I know a lot of people wanted Amazing Spider-Man 3. I think Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4 might just edge that out excitement-wise because he was a lot of people's first Spider-Man. He was my first Spider-Man, and there'd be a lot more nostalgic feelings there and nostalgic excitement there than there would be for Andrew Garfield, I think. So that's also another possibility why it might happen. Another reason it's possible that Spider-Man 4 could be happening is Tobey Maguire is back in with Sony after doing No Way Home. Who knows if they've talked before, but definitely when they brought him in to do No Way Home, they're back to talking. He's seen how the company is. He's got relationships there. He's probably got some people there that he trusts. He's probably got some people there that he likes. He's now kind of brought back into the Sony fold, and maybe he does want to do another movie with them. Maybe Sony is interested as well in doing another movie with Tobey Maguire after having the experience with him on No Way Home. Similar to that, you got Sam Raimi back in the fold with Marvel. He just did Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness for them, so they like him. He's done there's talks that he might even do like another Doctor Strange or another Marvel movie. So maybe Marvel wants to get him and Tobey back. Maybe they want to partner back up. Maybe they want to do something with Sony, do another collaboration like they do with Tom Holland's Spider-Man movie. Get something moving, get something going. And another big reason why they could possibly be doing another one is they've expressed interest in coming back. Tobey Maguire has talked about he'd love to come back if the opportunity was right, if he had so much fun on No Way Home that he'd come back. And Sam Raimi has expressed that he'd like to do another one if given the chance. He doesn't know if it's possible, but he did recently give an interview that said, hey, with the Marvel multiverse wide open, anything seems possible. He just doesn't know if that's something they'd want to do. But he never said that he didn't want to do it. So I think there's a lot of interest on both sides from both Tobey and Sam Raimi. And going off of that point, another reason why this is possible, maybe now more than ever, is because the multiverse is here. We are in an age of comic book movies, of just, content in general. coming out from the studios where the audiences, they have accepted the multiverse concept. They are familiar. They're not as confused as they would be about multiverse or a separate movie within a multiverse. So this isn't just on the MCU side either. They could do a Spider-Man 4 with the MCU multiverse, maybe get Tom or Andrew back in with Toby, do something fun there. But also on Sony's side, they're doing multiverse as well. I mean, they brought in Michael Keaton at the end of Morbius from Homecoming. They sent Venom to the post-credit scene of Spider-Man No Way Home when he was in the MCU for 2 seconds. So you've got both of these studios, Marvel Studios and Sony Studios, doing multiverse. The thought of Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi coming back to do a Spider-Man 4, but in a multiversal world, establishing that this is outside of the continuity of the MCU, of the Venomverse. Audiences would accept that now more than ever, and it makes the likeliness of a Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire more likely and more possible than ever before. Anyway, guys, those are just my thoughts and opinions on Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. What do you guys think of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4? Do you think Thomas Haden Church was talking about a rumor he heard recently, maybe heard directly from Raimi? Do you think that Spider-Man 4 is actually going to happen? Or are you more skeptical like me, thinking, I don't think this is real, guys, but it's fun to dream. It's fun to think of the possibility. Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this, guys. And without further ado, let's go back and take a look at what you guys are saying about this. I cannot tell you guys, though, how freaking pumped and excited I would be if they announced a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. I would lose my freaking mind. But I don't know if it's actually going to happen. Hardcore reviews. All right. Heading to an early screening for Mutant Mayhem on Saturday. Nice. That's exciting. I'm genuinely extremely excited. Grew up with these guys and excited for the spotlight to return on these guys after years. I just hope it's good. I just hope it's a good TMNT movie, and I hope that it's a TMNT movie that both appeals to the kids and can appeal to the adults and to those who grew up with the product. Because the Michael Bay produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, I liked the 2014 one when I saw it in theaters, but I don't think it holds up that well. And the sequel, while it was amazing to see Kang and Bebop and Rocksteady on the big screen for the very first time, it wasn't a great movie, and it wasn't a movie that kind of appealed to me when I was at the age that when was that? I was 16 maybe when that movie came out. It was just a little bit too aimed young. So I'm hoping that this movie strikes that balance of the Turtles are for kids, yes, but there is a lot of adults. There's a lot of grown-ups that grew up with the product that still wants to enjoy it. So I hope that they found that balance, and I really hope we all come out loving Mutant Mayhem. I've got to go here real quick because Michael Entity, dude, welcome. Thank you for being here tonight, Michael. He sends in a $5 super chat saying, always great to see you every week, Zach. I've still been really slacking on a lot of reviews lately, but I'll be posting another movie catch-up video. Well, dude, that sounds very exciting. I'm looking forward to checking that out. And thank you so much for being here, dude. Thank you so much for that super chat, for the support to the channel, dude. It means so much. Thank you so much, dude. You're beyond generous. That's too much, man. Thank you so much. We got 80s Kid from the 90s. I watched some good Seinfeld episodes today. I gotta watch Seinfeld. I mentioned it last week, and I'll say it again. I've gotta watch it. Box Hunter, are you gonna see Gran Turismo? I want to. Well, yeah, I'm interested in that. That's the one with the video game and their training on the NASCAR racing. I think I saw some people, I think my buddy Zach Attacks Reviews, I think he saw an early screening of that at a Regal Mystery movie thing. And I think he said it was good. I think he enjoyed it. So I thought the trailers were interesting. I'm interested in it. So yeah, I'll probably check it out. 80s Kid from the 90s, I guess I can watch a little longer. Well, thank you, man. Thanks for being here. Draven, next Tuesday. What are you referring to? I think I might know what you're referring to, but I don't know what you're referring to. 80s Kid from the 90s. Is it just me, or is the 90s starting to trend again? It seems like the 80s trend is gone for the most part. I mean, I can see what you mean. I think a lot of 90s stuff is coming back. I mean, we got a lot of rewatch podcasts. I'm really enjoying. I love the I love Boy Meets World, and I'm listening to Pod Meets World, their rewatch podcast. And that's a show from the 90s. I think Full House just came out with I think they have 2 rewatch podcasts. I think Dave Coulier Coulier. I can't remember what his name is. I think he's doing a podcast with the co-creator of the show, and I think the girls that play Stephanie and Kimmy. Is that her name? Yeah, Kimmy Gimbler. They're doing a podcast now. So there's a lot of stuff, and there's like 90s cons that go on, and yeah, I could see that. I don't know if the 80s is necessarily gone for the most part, but the 90s are definitely coming in as well. Luke Ponto, now I'm blushing, bro. You're the best, Zach. Maybe I can get you back on when we do Renfield. Oh, Renfield. I'm looking forward to watching Renfield again. Hopefully we can make that work, man. Absolutely. Hardcore reviews. 2024 films that are currently filming or being written are 100% getting delayed. And though I respect why this is happening, as a film fan, I really do want this to be over. Studios, pay your actors. Yes. Definitely. I definitely agree with all of that. I think that there's already delays happening with movies this year. I think Disney moved 2 movies, and I think there was something out there about they're contemplating moving Wish and Next Goal Wins, and I believe there's some reports out there that Warner Brothers is thinking of moving Dune to next year, which I mean is such a it sucks because the studios definitely have all the power right now, and they're doing anything possible to not sit down and negotiate with these actors, which is just ridiculous. And now they're the ones that are going to extend this strike even longer, because now they're just moving all this stuff to next year so that they don't have to worry about next year's content because they'll have it or next year's releases because they'll have it from this year left over. And it's just one of those things where you look on the outside as a film fan, and yes, I totally agree with you. I'm with the writers, I'm with the actors, but man, this in my small world, this sucks. This sucks for me as a film fan, as us as a film fan, for movies that we're excited to see, movies that we want to see that are going to get pushed or even canceled. Like, that's also an option, guys, that no one really talks about, is there's a lot of shows that could also suffer from this writers and actors strike by just being canned and canceled in the middle of cliffhangers, in the middle of a great season. It happened, I believe it happened back in 2007 with that writer's strike. Some shows got canceled. Some shows just fell off the deep end. That could totally happen with a lot of shows that you guys are enjoying, which sucks. But yeah, the most important thing that's done is that these studios just do the right thing. Sit down, negotiate, give these actors their pay, give them what they're due, get back to the table with the writers, because the writers, they have not gone back to the table with the writers for months, and it is ridiculous how they are treating their writers. Without those writers, they have nothing, and the fact that they treat them like such scum is infuriating. Movie Time Minute. What's going on, dude? Thanks for joining us tonight. I myself preferred Air over Flamin' Hot, but both of those, along with Tetris, are some of my favorite movies of this year. I still have yet to see Tetris. My brother saw it. He really liked it, but I still have yet to see that one. 80s kid from the 90s. Spider-Man 4 sounds too good to be true. It does, doesn't it? But you know what worries me about Spider-Man 4 being real? If Spider-Man 4 was going to happen, I don't believe that it would be the Spider-Man that we got back in the early 2000s, like Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. The way those movies looked and felt, I feel like we wouldn't get that same feeling from. I don't feel like they would shoot in a real city. I don't feel like they would shoot in New York. I feel like it would be green screen and the volume and blue screen and because I mean, Sam Raimi, I thought that with Doctor Strange and this could be a Marvel thing too, but I felt like with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, when they brought on Sam Raimi, I was expecting to get more of what we got in those Raimi Spider-Man films. I was expecting the same kind of practical feeling and real locations, and we didn't get a lot of that. We got the general Marvel green screen and blue screen and volume and CGI. I'm sure I think they shot outside a little bit, but yeah, definitely. I don't know if Spider-Man 4 would look the same consistently as Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. That worries me, because I don't want a cookie cutter clean looking Spider-Man 4 for the most part. So we'll see. I honestly don't believe it's gonna happen though. Lou Ponto, I checked out Hypnotic with Ben Affleck recently, and it sucked. Yeah, I've heard terrible things about that movie, dude. Lou Ponto, I'm seeing Haunted Mansion tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. Wow, a lot of you guys going to see Haunted Mansion. I totally forgot that it was coming out. The View with Drew. Tell me if you agree or disagree. Sandman is the villain and the best part of Spider-Man 3. He was supposed to be the main villain. I would say that I actually disagree a little bit. I think that I know that Raimi wanted to do Sandman. I know that that was his ambition, and then the studio forced him to do Venom. And I wish that he had not done Sandman. I wish that he had not done Venom, even though he had to. Actually, you know what? Venom still could have worked if he had just ditched Sandman and he focused on the turn of Harry Osborn. If they had focused on Harry's rise as Peter Parker's villain, turned from friend to villain after finding out that he's the one that killed his father, and then they played into that more, and they introduced Venom as fueling Peter's rage towards Harry more and building that conflict through that. That could have worked. I feel like of all the characters in Spider-Man 3, of all the villains in Spider-Man 3 that you cut out, even though Sam Raimi wanted to do him, I think you cut out Sandman personally. Only because if Sony wanted him to do Venom. But I could, if he was gonna do Venom, fueling Peter's rage towards Sandman through Venom, he should have downplayed Harry's role more, but not given him amnesia. That was stupid. 80s given the 90s. Spider-Man wants to be famous. I'll make him infamous. Oh my goodness, dude. J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons is J. Jonah Jameson. Gotta be top 3 best castings of all time. It just has to be. 80s gift from the 90s. Maguire is my favorite Spider-Man. I think Maguire is my favorite Peter Parker. I think in the Spider-Man suit, I think Andrew might be my favorite. And then Tom's kind of my favorite combination of both. But he's gonna have a special place in my heart for all eternity as Spider-Man. I love Tobey's movies, and it was really Tobey was benefited though because they built great movies around his character, great stories around his character. Sometimes when he's in the Spider-Man suit, his presence sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes Tobey's presence in the Spider-Man suit feels a little weak to me, to be honest. Movie time minute. As much as I'd love to see a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey, I just don't see Tobey doing any more than cameos. I don't think we've seen the end of him as Spidey, but I just can't see him doing more full ones. Yeah, that's the thing too, is that we got to remember Tobey Maguire is in his mid-40s? And he looked, don't get me wrong, he looked great in No Way Home. Like I was kind of impressed. I'm sure he had to get back in the gym and do some routines or something, but he looked really good in No Way Home. And I agree with you. I don't think we've seen the last of Tobey's Spider-Man. I do think we'll see cameos. I could see him popping up in Deadpool 3. I mean, the fact that they've gotten all these other people into Deadpool 3 and they already have a connection to Tobey Maguire in the MCU, I could maybe see Deadpool coming across Tobey Maguire in Deadpool 3. And you got to get Hugh Jackman's Wolverine to meet Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Like even you got to get Ben Affleck's Daredevil to meet Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. But I do believe that both him and Andrew, if they're not already, there's a strike going on, so they're probably not already doing that. But I do believe that Marvel is going to try to get Tobey and Andrew back for Secret Wars. I feel like they need all the people they can get for that. Optimistic Forever. They would potentially introduce Miles Morales with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man as his mentor. Now, that's another theory that's interesting to go into because they did say that Miles Morales was going to come into live action. They said that is happening. They didn't say when, they didn't say how, but they said that is happening. If you were to give him a mentor, if you were to have a Spider-Man old enough to pass it on to Miles, to mentor Miles, it would be Tobey. I think so. I think it would be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Some people have said Andrew Garfield. They want to see Andrew Garfield take on Miles Morales. I feel like because of where we left Andrew Garfield in No Way Home with talking about his rage and how he got bitter and how he started not holding back his punches, I feel like when we left him in that movie, he still has to figure all that out when he goes back to his universe. So I feel like Tobey is the most level-headed and at the stage of being a mentor that I think it'd be him. And wow, we just got another super chat in here tonight, guys. Wow, you guys have been so incredibly generous. Movie Time Minute is sending in a $9.99 super chat. Dude, wow. Thank you for being an inspiration to me to work harder on my own channel. I work 10-hour days. Wow. Just bought a house and have a 2-year-old. Not easy, but worth it. I'm seeing my channel grow slowly. Dude, that is incredible. First of all, thank you so much for that generous donation. Thank you so much for that super chat. Secondly, you are a rock star. You are amazing, dude. You work 10 hours, you bought a house, and you have a 2-year-old, and you're balancing YouTube. That's amazing, dude. Super, like, keep it up, man. Like, keep the priorities straight. You got the family, and you got the responsibilities. Looks like you're doing that very well, and then you're also seeing your channel grow, and that's amazing, dude. So, first of all, the fact that I'm an inspiration to you to work harder on your channel, that's amazing. I mean, I say that to people, and to hear it back is I don't think I'll ever get used to it. It's incredible. Thank you so much for being that generous of a supporter. Yeah, I just can't thank you enough, man. That's incredible. Thank you so much, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your channel grow as well, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that thing build. All right. Wow. Where are we at? You just get from the 90s, the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Yeah. Great quote. Great quote. Optimistic forever. It's also rumored that Toby is set to reprise his role in Secret Wars. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I totally believe that he will. If he doesn't, I can't not believe that they're not trying to get it. Like, if he doesn't appear, it's not because they didn't ask him. They are trying to get him. They are trying to get Andrew Garfield. I fully believe that. All right, guys, let's take another break, and let's move on. Let's talk about our second topic of the day, because this one is kind of infuriating. I don't know if infuriating is the right word, but let's talk about this. So today, Paramount Paramount's CEO overall, Brian Robbins, gave an interview in Variety, and the interview in Variety was actually pretty interesting. It was to promote the release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem, and in the article he talks about his up and comings into Hollywood, his story. The first thing he worked on was like Good Burger. It was a really interesting read, filled with a lot of insight into his mind of the business and how he thinks the business works. But one of the big things, if not the biggest thing, to come out of his Variety article is how he addressed animation, and specifically Paramount Animation Studios, and what their plan is going forward, because they have no interest in putting any faith, let's put it that way, any faith into their original content. Let's put it this way. Let's look at his quotes. Here's what he had to say. Here's what Brian Robbins, CEO of Paramount, had to say. It's not about Disney and Pixar anymore, he says, noting that recent Disney films like Elemental and Lightyear have stumbled at the box office. People are looking for animated movies that are irreverent and have a comedic point of view. So basically, he's taking a little bit of shots at Pixar at the moment, saying, oh, people, they don't want movies that are, they don't want animated movies that are serious. They don't want movies that are grounded. They just want to laugh. They want funny cartoons, and apparently that's what he plans on providing. Anyways, he goes on to say, so costs may be rising while the box office is contracting, but Robbins sees areas of opportunity. He has overhauled Paramount's animation division, raiding Nickelodeon's vault, and jettison projects that he didn't think were commercial. Under the Boardwalk, a movie about hermit crabs on the Jersey Shore that predated Robbins, will now debut on Paramount Plus, not in theaters. This is the quote that's getting people heated right now. We're not going to release an expensive original animated movie and just pray that people will come, he says. Instead, the studio's upcoming animated releases will center on familiar properties such as SpongeBob SquarePants and Avatar: The Last Airbender, which Robbins thinks will appeal to millennials who grew up with the shows. All right, dude. All right, let's talk about some of this bullcrap. All right. First of all, market the movies. Market them well. Make good movies. First of all, it's not that people aren't interested in original content. It's not that we're not interested in original animated films. We're interested in good movies. Know what Lightyear was? I can't speak for Elemental because I haven't seen it, but Lightyear was a generic kind of Pixar movie. It wasn't very interesting. Well, I'll speak for myself. I didn't think it was very interesting. I didn't think it was very deep. I didn't think it was that great, Lightyear. But That doesn't mean that I don't want my animated movies to be deeper. That doesn't mean I don't want animated movies to be a little bit more serious at times. Yes, I like the goofy, silly stuff. You get that in Across the Spider-Verse, but you also get serious moments in Across the Spider-Verse. You get some depth in Across the Spider-Verse, and look at how well that movie's doing. You're focusing your idea, and I should preface this by saying that this is a guy who actually works in the industry. He's been around for a while, Brian Robbins. He actually said some smart stuff in the Variety article. So I'm not trying to act like I can do his job better. I'm not trying to act like I'm smarter than him, because he did say some smart things in Variety, which is why it's so fascinating that he said something this stupid. But every movie, theoretically, I would say, every original idea, every original movie is a gamble. Everything that you release that isn't part of a franchise, that isn't a well-known IP, is always going to be a gamble. You cannot tell me that this guy sat there, looked at Top Gun Maverick, and said, yep, this movie's going to make $1 billion. Top Gun was not like it was probably huge in the 80s, but as far as my generation, I didn't really hear anyone talking about Top Gun before Top Gun Maverick. And then that movie came out and exploded, probably beyond their wildest dreams. The fact that he would just say that, oh, yeah, we're not going to even bother putting these new original animated movies into theaters. We're just going to put them on Paramount Plus, because people, they don't want originality. They want franchises. I mean, just look at The Flash. Look at Indiana Jones. Wow, those are doing great in the box office. People love franchise movies, don't they? But the fact that he would even come out and say, oh yeah, we're not going to put any more, we're not going to pray that people are just going to show up to these expensive animated original movies. We're just going to put them on Paramount Plus. First of all, you insult people's intelligence with that, I would say. Also, you literally just told everybody that you have no faith in your original product. You have no faith in the original stuff that you are creating. If you are just going to dump it, if you're just going to take, what was it called, Under the Sea Walk or whatever it was called, if you're just going to dump that on Paramount Plus, and yeah, we're not going to do theaters, we're just going to put it here because it's original, so no one's going to see it. No one's going to see it because you dumped it on Disney Plus. You didn't market it. You didn't give us a chance to see if it's even going to be a good movie. You didn't give the movie a chance. If you're just going to dump this on Paramount Plus, you're losing money just by doing that. You're putting all this money into making the movie just to throw all that money away. It's a really weird decision. It's also a short-minded, or should I say, a short-term decision. Because right now, yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is coming out. It's looking to be a pretty good movie. Everyone's excited. It's probably going to do very well at the box office. But once all you're putting out is these Nickelodeon sequels or these Nickelodeon franchise animated movies into theaters, if you don't keep up the quality of them, then they're just going to be diminishing returns. And when you do only put out like 5 Ninja Turtles movies and Blue's Clues or SpongeBob, whatever you're going to put out over and over and over again, you're probably going to start to see diminishing returns because the audience isn't being fed anything. You know what was original when it came out? Madagascar. That went on to become a trilogy. Kung Fu Panda was also original. That went on to become a trilogy that's pretty beloved as well. You don't just throw these movies away because you think that, oh, no one's gonna show up anyways, which shows a lack of faith in your product as it is, and then you're just gonna focus on franchise movies. I honestly, guys, this quote was baffling to me. I cannot believe he said this. I cannot believe he put that out for us to hear, for the audiences to hear. I'm not gonna watch anything on their Paramount Plus that they just dump there, because now I know it's not good enough for theaters. They have no faith in it, so I have no interest in watching it. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts and opinions on this quote. I know there's a lot of animated movie fans out there, so I'm very curious to hear, what do you guys think of this guy's comments? Do you agree? Should we just not bother with original animated movies anymore? Just dump those on the streaming services. We don't need those on the big screen. I mean, who doesn't love a good franchise movie, right? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about these guys. Let me know if you're as heated up as I am. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying about this. Insane. One of the most insane things I've ever seen a CEO from Hollywood say, to be honest. Well, not the most, but one of the most. Luke Ponto, I'll see Mutant Mayhem next Tuesday. Oh, nice, dude. That's awesome. Man, when am I going to see it? I don't know. I have to look at the times and see when I can see that. Never hold back reviews. I like the concept of a Spider-Man 4, but don't think it's going to happen. I did really like Tobey Maguire in Babylon, though, and would love to see him in other roles. Yeah, that was really cool about No Way Home, is that it kind of, like, reignited Maguire's career a little bit more, because then he did Babylon. I think he's coming out with another movie next year or something, but... Ryan Smith, am I a ghost or something? Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. Did I miss you? Did I not thank you for being here? Well, thank you so much for being here, Ryan. And did I miss you? I'm sorry if I missed you, man. I'm going back up. I don't see you. Did I miss you? I'm sorry if I missed you. I didn't mean to. I'm very happy to have you here, man. Thank you for being here. And you are not a ghost. You are very appreciative to be here, man. 80s kid from the 90s. I hope Disney stays away from remaking Emperor's New Groove. No touchy. Oh my goodness. Emperor's New Groove? Like, do you mean like in live action? Because that's giving me, that's nightmare fuel right there. That's terrifying. I don't think I want to see that. Zach Guller. What's up, Zach? Well, what's up, Zach? Nice to see you in here, my friend. Finishing up Secret Invasion. Finale's kind of weak. Oh, man. I'm gonna give my Secret Invasion review, and overall, I think it'll be pretty positive. I literally watched the finale before I went live. Well, not before I went live. A couple hours before I went live, and I don't want to say definitively at the moment, but worst finale the MCU shows have ever had, I think. I've seen a lot of people saying, and maybe I should say this for the review, but I'll just say it right now anyways. I've seen a lot of people saying the 6-episode structure doesn't work. They need to stop with the 6-episode structure. And to a degree, I agree. I would like more episodes, and I would like less of these 6 episodes. But that, for at least Secret Invasion, in my opinion, was not the issue. Because... you could have done this story in 6 episodes. The problem with Secret Invasion was the pacing. The problem was how they paced it out. Because when you get to the last 5 minutes or so of episode 5, you are just then learning what the villain wants and what his objective is and what he's trying to get in the last 5 minutes. And then in the next episode, the very last episode, everything just goes so fast. They should have paced it out way more. I don't think they necessarily needed more episodes, but they needed to do better with how they paced out the story, because they drug things on for way too long, and then we got to the finale, and it was, honestly, I put it on Twitter today. I support the WGA. I support the writers. They should get paid. They should get everything that they should be respected. They should get what they deserve. But who in their right mind wrote that finale? And who at Marvel approved that finale? There were some good in it. I won't say that it was I don't know. It was a pretty bad episode. It's not terrible. Like, overall for me, I was enjoying the show. I don't think it ruined the overall show, but it definitely tainted some of my experience. And what they did with Gaia, yeah, no spoilers, but I was like, what is happening? What happened to the show? Anyways, that's just my thoughts. I'm looking forward to hearing what your thoughts are, Zach, on that. Zach Gola says Renfield was meh. You know what, dude? I'm not going to argue with anybody who didn't like it. I'm not going to argue with anybody who thought it was meh like yourself. I really enjoyed it. I had a blast with Renfield. I saw that movie. That's the only movie this year that I've seen twice in theaters, because I saw it and then my friends from high school were visiting town, and I was like, guys, if I still know you 6 years later after we've graduated, which is kind of crazy to say, you will love this movie. And I took them to it, and they loved it. And we acknowledged all the problems. We acknowledged all the faults. We had a blast, and we loved it regardless. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I don't agree. Preston Reviews. Hi. Well, hello, Preston. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. Thanks for being here. Luponto, I also checked out After Sun last night, and it was a difficult watch, but so great. I don't know what After Sun is. What is that? I've never heard that before. Tyler Calvert's in here. What's going on, Tyler? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. The nostalgic cycle almost always is 30 years. So the 80s loved stuff in the 50s, so now the 90s is 30 years ago, and yes, it makes me feel old. That is, yeah, the 90s is 30 years ago. That's crazy. That makes sense. That's interesting how it works like that, but it makes sense. Luke Ponto, maybe a watch along for The Flash soon. I really like that movie now thinking about it. Yeah, I'm glad you've come around to it a little bit more, dude, because I had a blast with The Flash. I mean, if we can make it work, we can make it work, but I'm looking forward to watching The Flash again. 80s gift from the 90s. Spider-Man 4 would cost too much. I don't know. What doesn't cost too much nowadays? Have you seen some of the budgets that the movies are putting in, or that the studios are putting towards these movies? Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny cost $300 million to make. The Flash was over $200 million once all the reshoots and stuff was done. The studios have been pumping way too much money into these projects, and I feel like with Spider-Man 4, you could make that for $200 million, like the Flash, or Indiana Jones, $300 million. You could put that towards Spider-Man. Spider-Man 4 would make a lot of money. I honestly believe that. I believe that Spider-Man 4 would have the Tobey Maguire fans, the ones that grew up with him, the nostalgia factor. It would be an event. It would be exciting. Many people have been dreaming of something like that for a very long time if you marketed it well. Tobey just had a renaissance with No Way Home. We saw Spider-Man in action again, and he was great. I feel like that would boost the excitement for Spider-Man 4. I feel like if you put like $250 million into that, which is a pretty high budget for a movie like that, I feel like you could make it back. Plus, it's been so long since Spider-Man 3. I feel like people would go out to it. But who knows? I've been wrong before. Maybe this is one of those times again. I've been wrong. Lee Ponto. Wait. Oh my goodness. Wait. Did Michael Entity? Oh, dude. You sent in another one? I did not see that. I'm so sorry, Michael. Michael Entity sent in another $5 super chat. Dude, thank you so much. That's insane. That's really kind of you, man. Thank you so much. Hey, Zach, what's one movie that to this day you never understand why it gets hate? For me, I always loved Spider-Man 3. I think it's misunderstood. Well, I don't love Spider-Man 3, but I definitely, because I acknowledge all the problems that Spider-Man 3 has, but, I mean, sticking to the Spider-Man stuff, but it's funny because you say why I don't understand why it gets hate. I understand why The Amazing Spider-Man 2 gets hate. I totally understand why The Amazing Spider-Man 2 gets hate, because overall, it's not a great movie, but I will say that as a Spider-Man movie, I prefer it over Spider-Man or The Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man 3. I think that it's a fun kind of Saturday morning cartoon feeling Spider-Man film, and I think that Andrew Garfield finally had a handle more on the character, and I like the Gwen and Peter dynamic works really well for me. I just like Electro and the villains are the weakest part of the movie for sure, and there's way too many plot threads in there, but I like that movie more than most people do. Other than that, I don't know if I mean, I understand, you know what? Pinocchio on Disney Plus. I understand people not liking it, but the amount of hate that movie got, I thought was kind of bizarre, because it just kind of felt like what all these Disney animated live action things are is it just felt like a copy and paste of the original movie made in live action for kids, and sometimes that works for people, sometimes it doesn't, and it was just kind of funny that was the one time it worked for me and it didn't work for anybody else. Those are a couple examples that I can give you. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question all the way that you wanted me to, but thank you so much for that, Michael. Thank you for those generous donations. That means the world to me, dude. Very, very kind of you. The Jay Shrayway, what's going on, Jay Shrayway? Thank you for joining us. Howdy. Well, howdy back to you. The View with Drew. The best Spider-Man movie villain is between Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin and Alfred Molina's Doc Ock. I lean towards Green Goblin. And I feel like the reason why Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin gets the edge for me over Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, because I think that in Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock is a better villain than Green Goblin. I think Green Goblin is the scarier and maybe the more fun performance in the first Spider-Man. But as far as motivations and stuff goes, it's pretty lazy. It's pretty weak. But with Spider-Man No Way Home, when they brought Willem Dafoe back and he did the Goblin again, I feel like that's what put the edge over Molina for me, because he was fantastic in No Way Home. Oh, he was so creepy. 80s gift from the 90s. Think about it, hero. Yeah, man. But why doesn't he just take the mask off on that rooftop? I know everybody's said it. But it's so true. He's got Spider-Man there. He's paralyzed. He just goes and smacks him on the back of the head. Rip the mask off, man. That could have been a really intimidating scene. But no, they went for the cheese factor. But you know what? I'm kind of glad they did. The Jay Shrayway, Secret Invasion is the first MCU show I never kept up with. It started good, but I just have really lost interest with the MCU. They need to work on quality control. Dude, I agree with you. And you know who else agrees with you? Bob Iger. Because Bob Iger recently came out, and thank goodness this guy is thinking this way because it gives me hope. He came out and said that he believes that the Disney Plus, Star Wars, MCU shows have diluted the product, which is completely true, or diluted the brand, which is completely true, and has also made them lose focus, which is also completely true. And honestly, like, we'll get to my Secret Invasion review in just a few minutes here, but honestly, after Secret Invasion, even though I, for the most part, enjoyed the show, I'm done. I'm not done as in, like, I'll never watch an MCU show again because I know there's more coming. We got Echo, we got Daredevil. Like, there are more shows coming. But I'm just like, if they decided now, if they came out tomorrow and said, we are just going to complete production on Daredevil and Echo, all of our other Disney Plus Marvel shows are scrapped, and we are no longer moving forward with the MCU shows, I honestly would be okay with that. Which is crazy to say because when they announced the MCU coming out in shows and like WandaVision and all that stuff, when that wave of stuff was coming out, I was so amped. I was so excited to have the MCU at home every week. And now I'm just like, you know what? I don't care if you end the shows. You end the shows. Just give me good movies. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there at all. 80s kid from the 90s. I had so much Spider-Man merchandise as a kid. Me too, dude. And you know what? I am so bummed. Oh, we did a jump there. Wow, we got a lot of stuff. I'm so happy you guys are here. Yeah, no. What was I saying? Yeah, you had a lot of merchandise as a kid. Yeah. So, what I regret, one thing that I really regret about my childhood is I had a bunch of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man stuff. Like I had the video game. I had pillows, blankets. I had the dolls. I had the action figures. I believe I had a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man with the Willem Dafoe Green Goblin. And you know, when you're a kid, like these things, you don't think about, oh, one day Tobey's not going to be Spider-Man anymore, and this is going to be a really awesome collectible item that I could use one day in a YouTube video in the background. You know, like you don't think about that when you're a kid. But yeah, I think sometime when I was like just approaching the age of like 10 or like maybe getting closer to the teen years, you know, you just give them away. You know, you just, oh yeah, mom has a garage sale, I don't need those anymore, donate them to the thrift store, I don't use them anymore. And it's like, why didn't I just hold on to my Tobey Maguire Spider-Man figures, man? Because now they are impossible to get. They are so hard to find, at least at a decent price. And yeah, it sucks. I should have held on to those. Mom, why didn't you let me hold on to those? I'm never letting my kid throw away anything because he'll regret it. I'm gonna be like Adam Sandler in Happy Gilmore. I'm gonna grab him by the face and be like, hold on to these for as long as you can. You know, I'm just gonna I love that scene. The kid's face is all shaking. I don't know. Anyways, we're going off on a little bit of a tangent here. Michael 101591. What's going on, Michael 101591? Thanks for joining us tonight, dude. Hey Zach, how you doing? I'm doing okay. I had a little bit of a rough week. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'm doing all right overall. The Jay Shrayway, did they finally address the celestial stuck in the ocean in Secret Invasion? Nope. I don't think anyone will. I don't think anyone will ever address that. So, Michael 101591, I would like to see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man be a mentor to Miles Morales. It makes sense. Completely agree with you, man. And I want that too. Have you seen that with T? Good evening, Zach. Well, good evening. Have you seen that with T? Thank you for being here tonight, man. 80s kid from the 90s. Paramount animated movies on streaming service. Will Transformers 1 be put on streaming instead of theaters? I don't think so because he says that original movies will be put on Paramount Plus. So Transformers is part of a franchise. So I think they're going to put Transformers 1 out in theaters because it's part of the Transformers franchise. Michael 101591. No one wants to see more SpongeBob films. They are beating the dead horse on the character. Original movies need to go to theaters and not on streaming. Yeah, I mean, what I get from these Paramount Plus from the CEO's comments is that they're gonna aim really kiddie. Not that that's a bad thing. Not that that's like not a good thing. But if your only demographic that you're gonna focus on is the kids, then you don't have any more reach. And if you're just gonna focus on like SpongeBob films and stuff like that, the last one they did, what was it, Sponge on the Run or whatever it was called? I didn't think that was very good. I didn't think it was great. I feel like the only good SpongeBob movie really is SpongeBob the movie. Oh, I mean, Out of Water wasn't bad, but yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that I don't know if the plan is gonna work out as well as he thinks it will. Have you seen that with T? I think he knows they are not that good. Yeah, I agree, but if you don't want to tell the public that, you don't want to tell the public that, hey, we're not going to put these out in theaters, we're just dumping them on Paramount Plus, because then no one's going to have faith in your original content that you put on Paramount Plus once you say that that's the reason you're putting it on Paramount Plus. I just think it's a bad move. Nathan's Random Movies. What's going on, Nathan? Thanks for being here tonight, man. Hi, Zach. I'm a bit late because I just finished Secret Invasion. I was wondering, did you do Barbenheimer? I only saw Oppenheimer because my family was not interested in Barbie. Nope. I was going to go see Barbie on Thursday, and then my car broke down, and now it's toast. And I was out of town on the weekend, so I did not see Barbenheimer. And then I tried to get a ticket for Barbie last night, but it was completely sold out. That movie is going to make all the money. 80s Kid from the 90s says The Fablemans was a great movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Not as much as all people did, but I enjoyed it. 80s Kid from the 90s, it's a dumb decision for Paramount. Completely agree. All right, guys, before we continue with your comments and questions, let's take another break here and let's move on and let's talk about Secret Invasion. I actually might just do this as a regular review maybe. So, I don't know. See how the sausage is made kind of thing, huh, guys? Behind the scenes. All right. Let's talk about Secret Invasion. So, all 6 episodes of Secret Invasion are now available to stream on Disney+. And what I will say about Secret Invasion, the stuff that I really liked about Secret Invasion was the performances. I thought the performances in Secret Invasion were some of the best in at least the Disney Plus Marvel shows. I won't go for all of the MCU, but definitely within the Disney Plus Marvel shows. I won't give any spoilers in this review, by the way. Basically, what Secret Invasion is Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, has returned to Earth. He's teamed up with Talos, once again played by Ben Mendelsohn, and he has discovered that there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Skrulls that have taken over the lives of humans on Earth. A lot of them posing as politicians that are now within the government, and he's got to put a stop to that. So Secret Invasion came out, and what I will say, what really works for this show besides the performances, because Ben Mendelsohn and Samuel L. Jackson work very well together in this show as Nick Fury and Talos. And Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury coming back, he's kind of more out of town. He's out of town. He's kind of more out of touch. He's not in the prime that he was. He comes back, as we saw at the end of Far From Home. He's kind of in the spaceship. He's working with Saber. He comes back because he learns of this problem, and no one gives him any respect. No one sees him as the Nick Fury that we've seen him as in the past Avengers films. I found that really interesting, what they did with Nick Fury's character in that way. And Secret Invasion is kind of a spy espionage thriller type show, and they do a pretty great job with that tone. They keep it consistent all the way through, and I felt that was when the show was really at its strength, is when they did the espionage intrigue, because the promise of the show was you're never going to know who's a Skrull, and I felt like for the first couple episodes they did a really good job with keeping that mystery alive, keeping that who's going to be a Skrull, who isn't a Skrull, is this person a Skrull, did that person that just died a Skrull. I thought all of that was handled pretty well. The big problems, though, and they're not small problems, they are big problems that Secret Invasion have, definitely came into light now that the show is complete, now that I've watched the finale. The show, in hindsight, really does falter in a lot of places. And one of the big places that it falters is with the pace, because this show is only 6 episodes long. And the way that they've decided to pace the show out, because some people have said, oh, this should be longer than 6 episodes. We need more. They could have done this story in 6 episodes, because honestly, the story is not that complex. The story is not that hard to understand. Skrulls have taken over. Nick Fury is trying to expose them. Done. But what they do with the show is they drag out this mystery so long, and you're already 10 steps ahead of the show. Like Rhodey, for example. Don Cheadle in this show gives probably one of the most underappreciated performances in the MCU in the show, because he has to play Rhodey but with a twist, because there's something going on with Rhodey. I won't give it away here, but the show acts like that reveal of what's going on with Rhodey is like this big revelation in like episode 4. You find out by yourself, just by the actions and just by what the show presents to you, what's going on by episode 2. And it's not like a way of being like, I figured it out before the show told me. No, it's blatantly there, but the show is acting like it's not. And you're sitting there like, once the reveal happens, you're like, wait, am I supposed to, oh my, I'm so shocked that what I saw in episode 2 is happening right now in episode 4. So that's one of the big issues. Another issue with the pacing is the villain, because the villain, actually the actor, I wish I remembered his name, but I don't. He was actually pretty good as Gravik. I thought that he was a pretty good villain. I thought his performance was pretty good. The problem with him is that he's underdeveloped. One of the biggest problem with him is that you don't find out what he wants, what his objective is, what he's trying to get, this thing called the Harvest, until the very end of episode 5, before you go into the finale. And then when you get into the finale, the Harvest, what it does, can't get into it here because it's not a spoiler review, but oh my goodness, one of the dumbest things I've ever seen the MCU do, because this show up until this point had been pretty grounded in the way that it was executed. Yes, there's Skrulls and aliens and MCU stuff, but the action is pretty light. It's all pretty much about politics. It's about conversations that characters have. There's a great conversation in a diner between Don Cheadle's Rhodey and Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury that was one of the most riveting parts of the entire show. Then you get to this finale and it becomes just a generic giant CGI punch 'em up fest, and it does not feel earned. It does not feel like the show naturally built up to this point in the finale. And with shows like this, with mini series, you are watching this show to get to the final destination. And if the final destination is just looking at a big pile of crap, then the journey to get there was so not worth it. So that's one of the big problems, is the pacing. The second one is there's lack of urgency. The show is very one note. The show doesn't really change the dynamic of what the show is very often at all. It's consistently one tone, yes, which is good, but it also has a problem with how it repeats beats a lot of the times. Like, oh, this person is a Skrull. Oh, this person is... It's like, yeah, we get that. Like, episode after episode after episode is just kind of Nick Fury and Talos walking around trying to find out what's going on with these Skrulls and then finding someone who's a Skrull. And there wasn't that much excitement or thrills in it because there never felt like there was urgency to the situation. So that's another one. The last problem, and it's a it's a pretty big problem, is there's no intrigue. And this kind of goes with the lack of urgency, is because this show should have you on the edge of your seat. This show should have you questioning people. There should be stressful situations going on for the characters that causes you stress as well, as you're trying to figure out what this invasion is, who's part of this invasion, is the person that I'm standing right next to part of this invasion, and the show never gives you that. The show never goes that deep or that interesting with its premise. So what do I overall think of Secret Invasion? I think that it's a show that I was actually really enjoying week to week watching, because I was curious to see where it was going, and I was really captivated by the performances. Like, everyone in the show is honestly fantastic, and Nick Fury and his wife, they get to explore that a bit more, his wife back on Earth, and their dynamic was really interesting because you could tell they loved each other, but there was a lot of pain and hurt there because of Nick Fury's job and what he has to do as his job. He has to leave her all the time. I loved all that. I loved all the character stuff, and and I loved that they pulled back on the action to focus on character stuff and to focus on the smaller story. The only problem is that by the time the story is over, you feel like it's just beginning, and that's the biggest problem with Secret Invasion. Is it's a journey that you go on to end up nowhere. So while I enjoyed the show week to week, I enjoyed watching it. Could I tell someone? Could I tell you right now watching to watch the show? Honestly, not with very great conviction. So unfortunately, and I've never felt this way about a show, or I've never felt this way recently, at least, about a show where I was enjoying it to the point that when we got to the finale, it kind of made me look back at the show with such different feelings. So I'm gonna give Secret Invasion a weak recommend, because I don't think it's an awful show. I do think it has some things going for it. I just really felt like by the time we got to the end, they fumbled the ball. But what did you guys think of Secret Invasion? Did you have a chance to check it out? What did you guys think about it? Comment down below. Let me know. I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions about this, guys. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying about Secret Invasion. And that'll be it, guys, for our topics and questions. So we're just going to take your comments and questions for the rest of the show. Let's see what you guys have to say. Nathan's Random Movies. What do you think of Aquaman 2 having more reshoots and Batman being deleted from the film? Do you think it will now flop at the box office because of this? Yeah, this is an interesting question. Because Aquaman 2, man. First of all, I think it's a disaster. like plain and simple. Like movies do reshoots, like that's not abnormal. But the sheer amount of reshoots that they're doing for Aquaman 2, the fact that they're taking this character in, the fact that they had Michael Keaton as Batman in it, and then they swapped him out for Ben Affleck's Batman in it. So the fact that they're now taking both of them out, I mean, that's definitely shows me, or at least it appears to me when they do that they don't know what's going on, that they don't know exactly what they want to do with the movie. Do they want to continue it in the universe or not? And if you believe what you're hearing online about the test screenings, apparently the first test screen went poorly, and then the second one they did went even worse. So honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the first Aquaman myself. I enjoyed it when I watched it in theaters, but it's not one I've ever felt the need to go back to. So if this is the end of the Aquaman movies, you're not gonna find me in a puddle of tears. But yeah, it doesn't look good for the movie, and it's frustrating to hear. Honestly, like, just get your crap together, which I know it's not easy for people to do. Movies are hard to make, but I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it for now. Tyler Calvert, guess I'll brace myself for Paramount to go extra hard with Sonic movies and shows. Yeah, you guys are about to get a whole bunch of Sonic movies, man. Toxic Gamer 331, what's going on, man? Thanks for being here tonight. Olo, back to you, man. Michael 101591, are you seeing Haunted Mansion this week? You know what? People have told me that it comes out. I totally forgot about it. Here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try and see Barbie and Haunted Mansion on the same day. And then I'll try to get 2 reviews out this weekend. But I would rather see Barbie or something before I watched Haunted Mansion. But you know what? For the channel, maybe Haunted Mansion will be one that I do for work, you know? just to get the review out there. Because I really have no excitement for it at all. Hopefully, maybe it'll surprise me. That's another option. Toxic Gamer 331. I'm a little late to the stream because I went to see Haunted Mansion. Well, dude, we're just talking about that. How was it? How was Haunted Mansion, man? No worries. Don't worry about being late, man. I'm just happy to have you here. Wizard Entertainment, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. Spider-Man 4 is a must. Dude, I would love it if they did it. I would love it. But I don't know. I wouldn't hold your breath. 80s Gift from the 90s. Secret Invasion was very disappointing. Honestly, by the end, yeah, I agree. Secret Invasion by the end was the ending was kind of disappointing, and some of the places things went was kind of disappointing. But I really was enjoying the show. Like, I was up until episode 5, like literally before I watched the finale, I was at a recommend. I was at just a solid recommend. I was like, I like this show. I like the performances. I like the characters. I like where this is going. And then I saw where it went, and it just kind of tainted everything before it, because it was like, oh, all of that was leading to this. Should I tell people to watch this just to get to there? I don't know if I can do that. But I think there's enough good in it that I could still give it a week recommend. But I was like, did this just change to a week not recommend? Wizard Entertainment, for real, Secret Invasion finale was stupid. Dude, yeah. It was just, I couldn't believe it. But the thing is, too, is like the villain, the guy who played Gravik, I can't remember his name, he gives a really good performance in the finale. Like, there's a moment where he's talking to Fury, and he's like expressing his feelings and yelling at him and telling him all this stuff that Fury's done to him, or why he hates Fury or whatever. And I mean, it wasn't great dialogue necessarily, but the performance from this guy I thought was great. I thought he did a really good job. And then they just they just went on and was like, oh wait, we're an MCU show, right? Oh, we should have a big CGI battle. And it just, oh man, it was done so poorly. Toxic Gamer 331. I thought it was good. Obviously not perfect, but it's fun and it does a great job dealing with grief. Are you talking about Secret Invasion or Haunted Mansion? I think you're talking about Haunted Mansion. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. 80s Kid from the 90s. Gaia was a boring character. They waste. Do I want to say they wasted? I'm gonna say it. They kind of wasted Emilia Clarke, at least in the show. There's definitely like, I don't know if they're setting up Secret Invasion season 2 or just like where she's going in the MCU, but she's definitely gonna be around. There's more of her. But Gaia, I was intrigued by her character and the performance that Emilia Clarke was doing in the first couple episodes. But by the end of the show, I could care less if she was there or not. Wizard Entertainment. OMG, same with Miss Marvel. The characters were really boring in that show too. Hey, I liked Miss Marvel, man. I really liked Miss Marvel, so I can't agree with you there. Optimistic Forever. I 100% agree about the whole 6-episode structure for MCU shows. It greatly affects the pace and leaves out relevant parts that could have worked for character and plot development. See, that's the thing though, is that yes, you could do more episodes, but if the pacing is still as bad as it was with 6 episodes, then people are just going to complain that you should have had 10 if you had 8. You should be able, especially with Secret Invasion, after seeing it all and seeing the story unfold, they should have been able to set this up in half the time. Like, the first 4 episodes could have set up what the whole show basically set up, and then the last 4 should have like kicked it into high gear. There's no real point in Secret Invasion where I felt like they kicked it into high gear. It felt like it stayed at one note the entire time until the finale. Then it was just like, boom, we're here, and it's like, oh, how did we get here? This doesn't feel right. That's me personally, anyways. Toxic Gamer 331. My birthday is Tuesday, going to be 16, even though I'm not a big birthday person. Well, that's exciting, man. 16 is an exciting year. That's awesome, dude. Happy birthday. I mean, happy early birthday, because I probably won't see you on Tuesday. But yeah, that's exciting, man. I hope you have a great time. I just hope it's a great day. Great year. Wizard Entertainment. What are your thoughts on the future of the Batman universe, like spin-offs, sequels, theories, villains, and more? I'm for it. I'm all for it. You're talking about Matt Reeves as the Batman, right? Because I really love the first the Batman. I'm looking forward to the sequel. Penguin looks awesome. Like, I think Penguin looks really good that's coming out on HBO Max. I don't know if there's any more shows that they've announced from the Batman. But what's interesting is we're going to have the Batman series, but then we're also going to have Batman Brave and the Bold going on with the DCU. And I feel like that will also have its own spin-off shows and characters. So it's going to be interesting to see how they establish those separately from each other. I mean, I feel like they're doing a pretty good job with establishing the Batman universe already, but they haven't had another universe introduced to kind of go up against that or pair that with each other and not get the audience confused. Because I feel like if you're doing the Batman and you're doing a Penguin series, you can't necessarily have Penguin in Batman Brave and the Bold's universe, right? Or I guess you could, but I don't know. You'd have to really make sure the audience doesn't get confused that it's not the same Penguin from the Bat. I don't know. It could get, if they do it sloppy, it could get convoluted and hard to understand very fast. But I feel like they're going to do a really good job with it. I feel like James Gunn knows what he's doing over there. I feel like the Batman, though, is going to be a trilogy and then done. I feel like Matt Reeves is going to do 3 the Batman movies, and then that universe will kind of close, and they'll move on from it. I don't think the Batman is a universe that's going to continue on, like, for 15 years like the MCU or something like that. Could be wrong, though. We'll see. Nathan's Random Movies. What did you think of the trailer for The Exorcist Believer? I'm skeptical since it is intended to be the first of a sequel trilogy by the guy that directed this recent Halloween trilogy. Haven't seen it. I've seen The Exorcist, the first one, anyways, and I liked it, but I haven't seen this trailer. I haven't really been paying attention to it. I'll have to check that out. 80s kid from the 90s. Eric Foreman did okay as Venom. You know what? Topher Grace as Venom in Sam Raimi's movies. I have a very unpopular opinion about that because I think he works better than Tom Hardy as Venom, especially for the universe, the Sam Raimi universe that he was in, because I liked that Tobey Maguire, or that Topher Grace was kind of the mirror of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, because I feel like in the comics and in the cartoons and stuff, when you had Eddie Brock be just like this big brunt tough guy, I feel like that wouldn't have worked with Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. I feel like having him going up against a similar kind of nerd, but a little bit more edgy than he was, to mirror, like, because in that movie Tobey Maguire wants to marry Mary Jane, in that movie Eddie Brock wants to marry Gwen, even though he's only went on like one date with her. But I feel like when they established the hatred for why Eddie hates Peter Parker and why Venom hates Spider-Man, to the point that when they combine, they become evil and stuff. I feel like they did that very well, whereas in Tom Hardy's Venom, I don't understand why they're together. I guess because they're both losers is what they say in the first movie. They're just losers, and so they gravitate towards each other. I don't know. I don't think it was very compelling, but yeah, I do not hate Topher Grace's Venom, and that's a very unpopular opinion, but Hardcore Reviews back from dinner to rejoin the stream. Well, I hope you had a great dinner, man. What did you eat? Let me know. Movie Time Minute. Glad I was able to participate. My work schedule doesn't let me join live often. Last thing before I go to bed, I am seriously worried about how powerful Gaia is in the MCU going forward. Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, man, I assume you're probably out. So I appreciate you being here, man. The show was made better because you were a part of it. So have a good night. But yeah, Gaia, what happens to Gaia? I won't go into spoilers because I know some people haven't even finished the show, let alone seen the finale. But what they do to Gaia it's I don't even know if it fully makes sense. What they do, how they explain how she gets the way she gets. She was doing things where I was like, wait a minute, but how did they get her to do that? Because how did they get that thing? I'm being very, very vague. But yeah, I didn't think it worked at all. And the fact that that's how she's going to continue now, and oh man, instead of being excited to see Emilia Clarke in a movie, when she pops up on screen, I'm going to be like, oh no, she's in this? That's not good. She's going to ruin it with her stupid thing. Anyways, we'll see how they do. We'll see what they do with it. But the way that it was introduced, the way that it was executed in the finale of this show, I thought was horribly written. I thought it was really bad. Toxic Gamer 331. The only thing I liked about Pinocchio live action is Tom Hanks' performance. He was pretty fun. Hardcore Reviews. What's your excitement level at Talk to Me? I think it looks great, and the reviews have been overly positive, so I'm looking forward to checking it out when I can. Yeah, I've heard some good things about that one. I wouldn't say that it's super high. I don't even know if my theater is going to get that movie, but it was not on my radar before, and a lot of people have put it on my radar now, so I'm definitely going to check that out. Toxic Gamer 331. Zach, what's a movie that you wish was made but eventually got canceled? For me, it's Batman 3 with Michael Keaton or Superman Lives. Well, hey, we can go to Spider-Man 4 again, because Spider-Man 4 was going to happen. They had storyboards. Sam Raimi had a story with the Vulture and everything, and it got canceled and didn't happen. So I wish that would have happened. And you know what? Superman Lives is a good one too. I would have been very interested to see a Nicolas Cage Superman movie. That would have been so interesting to me. I would have loved to have seen that. Preston Review says, I gotta go, Zach. Just wanted to say hi. Well, have a good night, man. Thank you for joining us. And the show was made better because you were a part of it. So I hope you have a good one. I appreciate you. Hardcore Reviews. Saw the final episode of Secret Invasion and it was not it. That's all I can say. Yeah, I agree. It was just not it. Nathan's Random Movies. For me, Disney has really been slumping downhill. Yeah, I mean we're in the era where we're getting all of Bob Chapek's product. That's what's happening right now, is because Bob Iger has just come back. So everything that we're getting now is a result of what Bob Chapek did in the company and what his priorities and what he wanted to do and put out there was. So hopefully Bob Iger will turn things around again, get Disney back to its glory days, end the abundance of MCU shows and get MCU back on track, and we'll see how it goes for the future from there. 80s Kid from the 90s. Iger needs to do something to get my respect for Disney after his recent comments on strike. Yeah, that's the one thing too about these studios, these AMPTP members is man, I don't know how they're going to win the audience back with some of the stuff they've said, especially since all the audience has been on like the writers and the actors side, or at least the film fans have. Film Twitter has been. Some of the stuff that these studio execs and CEOs have said have just been awfully atrocious and so inhumane and so evil, and it's hard to say I like Bob Iger after hearing a lot of the stuff that he said. And I was a Bob Iger fan before, but now I'm just kind of like, he's done some good stuff for Disney, but as a person, I don't know if I like him. Never hold back reviews. Apart from reviews, would you ever consider making a video essay on a film? You'll love your content, man. Keep it up. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate the encouragement. I appreciate the kind words and all the support. Honestly, I do want to do... I have had, in the back of my mind, ever since I started the channel, I want to do a video essay on Roar. I just haven't figured out how to do it, and I want it to be perfect when it's done. That I just, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to the point where I actually put that out. But if you guys, honestly, if you guys have not seen the movie Roar, it is the most bizarre movie I've ever seen in my life. It's Noel Marshall and his wife and his kids. They made this movie back in 1981. I believe they started making it in 1969. And it came out in 1981, finally finished. And what it is it's a movie where they took hundreds of lions and tigers in this reserve, and they shot this movie. It was supposed to be like a I don't know what it was supposed to be. Some people say it was supposed to be a comedy. They marketed it as a horror overseas, but it was this movie where these they were on this like African reserve, and this family comes to visit this guy who's studying lions or something, and they get trapped in this house and the lions attack them. But the thing is they used real lions and tigers, and they didn't train them. They just had them do whatever in their words, they had them improvise. Like the lions and the tigers and all these animals, they were just considered characters in the movie, actors themselves, and they just improvised. And so in the movie itself, you see people get mauled and attacked by these tigers and lions in real time. There was over 70 injuries to the cast and crew during the making of this movie. Some of the stories are just completely horrific, and some of the injuries are actually caught on camera. There's a famous one. Melanie Griffith is in the movie as the daughter, and is a real life daughter of the filmmaker. And there's a scene where this bookcase falls on top of her, and this like 300-pound lion steps on the bookshelf that's on top of this girl and bites the back of her head, and you hear her screaming for the director, because they're the code word for when they were in terror was Noel. They had to say Noel. So in the movie, a couple times you'll hear them say no, Noel, and that was supposed to be for the director to cut the movie and come save them. And he just lets it roll, and a lot of the injuries are caught on film. It's actually a really boring movie. It's actually a really boring movie because a lot of the times, because the lions and tigers, they just let them do whatever and they weren't trained. A lot of the times when they're supposed to act in fear, the lions and tigers aren't doing anything. They're just kind of laying there. But when they do something, it is the craziest stuff on camera. It's bizarre. It's called Roar. I just went on a tangent there, but I've always wanted to make a video essay about how bizarre and crazy that movie is, because it is wild. No pun intended. Nathan's random movies. Which one is better, Toby or Miles? This is a hot take, but I like Miles more. Do you mean like Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker or the Miles Morales in animated form? Or Tobey Maguire the person? I gotta stick with Toby. I gotta stick with my man Toby. I do like Miles though, but yeah, I like Toby. Toxic Gamer 331. Sorry about you having a rough week, Zach. The last 3 or 2 weeks have been rough for me too, so I feel like. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope it gets better for you, man. I hope life picks up. I don't know what's going on, but I hope it gets better. Michael 101591. Did you hear Disney is getting rid of physical media in Australia? Let's hope Disney does not do that here. Oh, dude. Physical media gets me worried. Because I love owning my movies. I love having my physical media. Did you guys see that? I don't think it ended up being an actual thing, but there was this thing on Twitter going around that like they were going to release a WandaVision steelbook, but it was going to be discless, and they weren't going to have the disc in it. It was just going to be you can buy the case and have it on your shelf for display, but no movie in it. That was ridiculous. I don't think it was real though, but that sucks. That sucks for Australia, honestly, and I hope that doesn't happen here. Wizard Entertainment Spider-Man 4 is a must. Dude, I hope so. But I don't know. Man. 80s kid from the 90s. They ruined Nick Fury's backstory. I feel like they did that in Captain Marvel. To be honest, I feel like they did that in Captain Marvel. The Jay Shreyway. For me, the best MCU Disney Plus performances have been Oscar Isaac and Elizabeth Olsen. Oh, you know what? Oscar Isaac is probably the best performance the MCU has ever had. Now, I Rhodey, like Don Cheadle, what he was doing as Rhodey, I think was underappreciated still. But yeah, as a single, I wouldn't put Elizabeth Olsen in there, though she gave a brilliant performance in WandaVision. She was very good in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. But Oscar Isaac is single-handedly, I think, is the best performance in the MCU. Nathan Drennan movies. Secret Invasion was a major disappointment for me. It got worse and worse as it went along. See, I'm sorry to hear that, man, but like I don't feel like it was getting worse and worse. I actually thought the show stayed pretty consistent. Like I liked it all the way through, and I looked forward to the next episode until the finale. The finale is kind of what made me go, "Oh, that's all they were doing." I really hoped for more. Sully Streams, what's going on, Sully? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Happy to have you here. Pretty happy I didn't even bother starting Secret Invasion right about now. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's disappointing. It's really disappointing. Some people have really liked it, though. I think Zach Pope on Twitter was like, well, they won me over. That was a fantastic finale. And I was like, dude, I wish I could say the same, but I just didn't feel that way. 80s kid from the 90s. Rhodey's a Skrull. It was obvious in the trailer. Well, then I would say you are 20 steps ahead of the show if you think that. Let's just put it that way. 80s kid from the 90s. Heads up. I got 10% battery. All right, man. We'll try to hold on as long as we can. I appreciate you hanging on with us, man. Toxic Gamer 331. I still got to finish Secret Invasion. The only episodes I haven't seen are 4, 5, and 6. I liked 4 and 5. Yeah, I'll say that. 80s kid from the 90s. Haunted Mansion sounds like a mediocre remake. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, that's kind of what I was kind of feeling from it too. Nathan Drennan movies. Are you planning on seeing Oppenheimer? It is really good. I will eventually. I feel like I kind of missed the window, but I will eventually. Toxic Gamer 331. I would say I enjoyed Haunted Mansion more than Barbie because some stuff of Barbie I liked, but it felt like it was flipping all men off in the movie. That's all I'm saying. I've heard some people say that, and I'm very curious to see where I'll land on that because sometimes that can bother me. If it's blatantly offensive, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to put it necessarily, but I don't like when one gender tries to be seen as greater than the other gender. You know, like both ways. Like I don't like it when women try to seem superior to men, and in order to do that, they put men down. And I don't like it when men try to seem superior to women by doing so they put women down. And especially like in movies, I don't like seeing that. So. I'm curious to see how this is going to play for me because I've seen some people say that it's anti-men, it's offensive to men or something like that, or like it's cruel to men or something. But then I've seen other people say like, no, that's not at all what I saw in this movie, and so I'm very curious to see. And Toxic Gamer says, and the entire movie at that. I'm very curious to see how that plays for me, to be honest. Toxic Gamer 331. Oh, whoops. Toxic Gamer 331. Matt Reeves said he would like to do an Arkham show and Professor Pig show. Professor Pig? I've never heard of that. Yeah, we'll see if he does. I'd definitely be down for an Arkham show. That'd be awesome. Optimistic forever. Turning in for the evening, man. Always good to see you live and alive. Good night, folks. Good night, Frank. Have a good night, man. Thank you for being here, dude. The show was made better because you were a part of it, and I appreciate you, man. 80s given the 90s. The Batman is my favorite Halloween movie. You know what? I could probably say it's my favorite Halloween movie, too. 80s given the 90s. Hocus Pocus is number 1. The Batman is number 2. All right, fair enough. I've never seen Hocus Pocus. That's something that I never got around to. Toxic Gamer 331. I hope the Batman isn't just a trilogy because I hope that movie series at least has like 5 or 6 movies. I don't know. I feel like I could see Matt. The reason why I say I think it'll be a trilogy and then move on is I feel like Matt Reeves kind of has that same kind of mentality that Christopher Nolan has. I feel like he'll want to move on from Batman pretty quickly and venture and do more things because Matt Reeves is a brilliant filmmaker, brilliant director, and writer. So I would love to see him do more original stuff and go on beyond the Batman. I think he's already looking at doing like a Charlie Chaplin or something movie in between the Batman. So I think he's already setting up his future for that. Toxic Gamer 331. Oh, I forgot about Spider-Man 4. Yeah, that's another one I would love to see. Have seen. Yeah, me too, man. Dave Show, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us tonight, Dave. What up, Zach? Looks like Spider-Man 4 might be real. Yeah, I don't know. When I read the comment from Thomas Haden Church, he really didn't make it sound like there was much more movement on Spider-Man 4. But first of all, he spoke in past tense. He said, I heard that there was rumors, not there is rumors, or there's active rumors. Maybe that's just a misspeak on his part, but it kind of deflated my excitement. I don't think Spider-Man 4 is actually going to happen. But I do think we're going to see Tobey back as Spider-Man at some point. Toxic Gamer 331. I'm gonna head out now. Great stream as always, man. Pizza. Oh, it's pizza time. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Toxic Gamer, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for that awesome wrestling match that you made with. If you guys haven't seen that, I shared it on the community post. Toxic Gamer put me in a video game, and it was super cool. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, dude. Have a good night. The show is made better because you were a part of it. Average Viewer Films, what's going on? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. After all the meh movies this year and the writer and actor strike, international films are gonna rock the Oscars. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. I don't know how that's gonna work because, I mean, they're saying this strike could go until next year. They're saying it could go till November or maybe even like January of next year. And if that's the case, yeah, next year's Oscars is not going to have very many movies. You might be right about that. International movies may just dominate the Oscars. Dave's show. Next year is going to be good for smaller films. I hope we get a ton of A24 films next year. Yeah, I mean, they're like one of the only studios that have the green light to keep working. So if actors want to work for them, that's pretty much the only place they can go to make a movie right now. So hopefully they get some projects going. Fill those slates up so we have some content to watch. Preston Reviews. Hi, how's it been? It's been going pretty well, Preston. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for hanging out. 80s Gift from the 90s. Miss Marvel and Moon Knight were the best shows. I really loved Miss Marvel. Moon Knight let me down. Moon Knight's finale was another one that was just kind of like, oh man, they rushed it. It wasn't very good. I thought Moon Knight had some fantastic episodes, but I wasn't fully into the execution of the show. Preston Reviews is going to end the night on a hot take. Secret Invasion is my favorite MCU show, but the ending kind of sucked. All right, man, I can get behind that because I was really enjoying the show. It had the opportunity to take the top spot for me, but I think it comes in with that ending at around number 4 for me. Because, yeah, I really wasn't into the finale. Anyway, guys, those are all the comments and questions. We are all caught up. So with that, we are going to call it a night. That was the show. I appreciate all of you guys being here. I appreciate all of you guys sending in the comments and questions. Everybody who super chatted tonight, that was really, really incredible. There was a lot of super chats in here. I just want to go through them again and thank them. Movie Time Minute, Michael Entity sent in a super chat tonight, as well as Box Hunter. Thank you so much, man. And Rob Christensen sent in a super chat as well. Appreciate all of that, guys. Appreciate all the support. It keeps the channel going. And guys, Tuesday. Keep an eye out on Tuesday. We've got a special announcement dropping. If you guys didn't see my community post, Something I've been working behind the scenes on, something I've been developing, something that I'm very excited about. I think a lot of you guys will be excited about it too. At least I hope you guys are. So keep you guys' eyes open for next Tuesday. And hopefully it's gonna be as exciting for you guys as I think it is for me. We've got a few more here, so let's just end the night with some of these. Toxic Gamer 331 says, one more thing before I go, put you against Spider-Man in my latest video. I cannot wait to watch that, man. I really want to see that. That's amazing. Thank you so much, dude. I'm stoked for that. I want to see me get taken down by Spider-Man. Preston Review says, night, Zach. Good night, Preston. Thanks for being here, man. The show was made better because you were a part of it, and I appreciate you. Sully Streams, you're gonna be watching Meg 2, Zach. Shark movies are my guilty pleasure, dude. I'm so there for Meg 2. I'm really looking forward to that schlocky good time, man. I cannot wait to see it. And Toxic Gamer 331, I'm actually going now. Good night, Zach. Well, good night, Toxic Gamer 331. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Zach Milne Talks Live. And yeah, we will be back next week. Same Zach time, same Zach channel.